Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Hump Day edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, Parish Construction and Roofing. If you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. If you need a roof, you call the winner of the best roofing company in the best of Baton Rouge, Parish Construction and Roofing. Unique physique, unique aesthetics and wellness, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Babcock Brothers Premium Cigars. Code MAT15, MAT15, MAT15 for 15% off your order. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Glad to see everybody there. The transfer portal, as we all know, is open for baseball, starting to get some names to keep an eye on. So let's see. Some names to keep an eye on. So Brody Trosclair is probably an obvious one. He's a lefty from Thibodaux who pitched at Northwestern State, had the brace procedure on his elbow. He's a lefty. I'm told he's expected to be ready to go by March. So he visited LSU. I was told he visited LSU and is still going to see some other SEC schools, Tennessee, Arkansas, Mississippi State. So the elbow surgery is a little bit of a concern, but it's not Tommy John. So, and I'm also told he ain't giving a hometown discount. So it's going to take, call it $250,000 to get a guy like that to campus. So we'll see. Jason Walks from Tulane is another one to keep an eye on. He's an outfielder. He's from South Florida. Played 2 seasons at Tulane, and he's a big outfielder, right? He's 6'2". In his 2 seasons at Tulane, he's played 107 games, hit .331. So, bigger outfielder with some power. So, he would be a corner outfielder. So want to keep an eye on. Ty Konis is an infielder. He played shortstop at Maryland this past year. He was all Big Ten freshman. Started all 56 games, hit .286. He'd be a middle infielder for you. So Ty Konis is one to watch. And then Mikey Bell. I know LSU has interest. He's a third baseman from Gonzaga. And this is one of those that is definitely a draft risk, right? And we've seen this before. Remember a few years ago, they signed Jack Pineda from Baylor, and then he got drafted and signed. Remember Dylan Tabrock, the pitcher from Creighton, committed to LSU, and then got drafted and signed. So that had Carter Young from Vanderbilt was another that happened. So it happens, but LSU is going to take their swing with Mikey Bell. He's the West Coast Conference Player of the Year, 2-time West Coast Conference Player of the Year. He's in the portal. So he's either going to cash in on the portal or he is going to go pro. So, but LSU's got their hat in the ring there for Mikey Bell as well, one they're interested in. So we'll keep an eye on all that. All right, please smash the like button if you would subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post, like the page, share the post. Burge Osberry, we talked about this a good bit. This was actually the focus of my Locked On episode today. A Virgin interview with Jacques Doucet. And in part, they talked about, do you stick to the 9-game SEC schedule and the Power 4 mandate? You're effectively making it harder on yourself voluntarily to make it to the playoff because the committee is not rewarding you for those games. As a matter of fact, remember, Lane was on Pardon My Take and talked about his non-conference schedule at Ole Miss.
That's why, I've always been a proponent to stay at 8 games and let us make our own, whoever we want to play in non-conference. Don't tell us who we have to play.
Right.
And we would do the model of the last place I was just at. Look at we went 20-0 in non-conference regular season games at Ole Miss, 20-0. We didn't play any of them big, openers. This place went, in a 4-year span, lost 3 or 4 openers.
Yeah, they played hard games of the
So
openers.
you play, that's so great, whatever. Well, you don't get rewarded for it because it's not worth it enough in this race. But also, that schedule where half your games you don't have to get up for, it's a mental toll that you got to play when you're getting up for. Plus, also, man, your good players are out by the fourth quarter, so your play count at the end of the year is less.
I mean, that's an illustration of the problem I've talked about forever in college football. When you don't reward people for scheduling tough games, that's the mentality. Why play tough games? Let's schedule garbage teams, go undefeated, and get our players out, keep our count down. Nobody wants to see that. But if you're not going to be rewarded for scheduling the tough game, then where's your incentive to schedule the tough game? So that's something certainly worth following as the league decides if they're going to keep the Power 4 mandate. My guess is they get rid of the Power 4 mandate. If the Big Ten is not going to do it, there's no reason for the SEC to do it. Okay, please smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post, say some good mornings here. Hey, Thomas, good morning. Day 165. It's on the way. Get ready, haters. Bubba Smith, Kelly Gross. Hey, Josh, good morning from South Arkansas. All right, man. Hey, Rocky, who do you like in the Supers this weekend? All I know, Rocky, is I think Georgia's going to win the national championship, and I am pulling like mad for Little Rock. Hey, Thomas, good morning. Antonio, good morning. Falcon with a hat. Good morning, Matt, Erica, and Drewski. Chuck, what up, man? Good morning. Ragin, Jalen, the Cajun. Morning. Need more coffee. Rough workout yesterday. As it said, if it ain't hurting, it ain't working. I don't know that I fully agree with that. That sentiment. I'm not all about going to hurt yourself. Some muscle fatigue and soreness, I think, is normal. And you want to get through that. But you get to a point where, man, you don't need to hurt yourself. Hey, Hunter, 32 today. Okay. Happy birthday, Hunter. Hope it's a great one. Happy 32, man. Hope all your hopes and dreams come true in year 32. Hey, Club, good morning. Michael, good morning. Hunter, morning. Does LSU have to play SMU and Houston due to the Power 4 mandate? So they've made changes to the future schedules. Remember, Houston and SMU both satisfy the Power 4 mandate. So in 2027, they play Houston. I believe that's going to be at NRG. I'm almost positive we reported that. So like this year, you got Clemson, right? So next year, you play Houston, and that satisfies the Power 4 mandate. In 28 and 29, you've got SMU. In 28, SMU comes to Tiger Stadium. In 29, you play the game in Arlington. And then in 30, you're scheduled to play at Arizona State, although I'm pretty sure we reported that game's not going to happen. The Arizona State thing is done. And then 31, 32, you have a home and home with Utah. We'll see if that stays on the schedule. If the Power 4 mandate goes away, then LSU, why not just buy out of that game? But yes, so Houston next year, SMU in 28 and 29. Remember the Arizona State game in 29, it was Arizona State 29-30, and Verge told me that was going away. So I'm looking at future football schedules. It's still on there, but we reported that's done. Yeah, here it is. Let's see. Verge, this was in September. Verge told me there's going to be movement on the schedule. The series most likely affected is the future home and home with Arizona State. It's already been amended several times. Like they're not going to play two Power 4. So like in 29, right, they've got SMU, which they added, and Arizona State. So the Arizona State thing is going to go away. Hey, Brad, good morning. Do you think we'll see upsets in the Supers like we saw in the regionals? Yeah. The other thing that's really interesting about the Supers is, you have in some situations, like Little Rock against Troy, for example. The fact that one of those teams is going to Omaha is amazing. Cal Poly's playing West Virginia. One of those teams is going to the College World Series. That's really cool. So Cinderella may be dead in in March, but very much alive in May and June. Booted to the sip. Good morning. Brett, good morning. Heard something about the Saints possibly trading for George Pickens. And shoot that as fake news. Yet there's just no way they're trading for George Pickens. If they hadn't drafted Jordan Tyson, then that's something that maybe could have been in the works if they were looking for a number two to pair, another receiver to pair with Olave. But you're not going to pay Olave this offseason, draft Jordan Tyson with a top 10 pick, and then go trade for George Pickens. Now, if you end up not signing Chris Olave and you trade him and you want to trade for Pickens, okay. But I don't think that's going to happen. Morning, Matt. Can't wait to see what Coach Jay does in the portal. We're already pounding the pavement. Hey, Casey, good morning. Thomas, of the 4 or 5 stars that visited last weekend, which ones, probably, if any, does LSU stand the best chance of getting? Well, the one they probably stand the best chance of getting is Easton Royal from New Orleans, 5-star number 1 receiver, getting him flipped from Texas. That's probably the best chance. Jalen Brewster is the number 1 player in the country who's committed to Texas Tech. It's going to take a big bag because Cody Campbell, the billionaire booster at Texas Tech, isn't going to let him walk easily. The other 2, I think, are interesting because they're uncommitted. And I can tell you, talking to folks close to the program, Abraham Cisse, the 5-star edge from Pennsylvania, they may like him. There's someone sat that like him the best. So that's one certainly worth watching. And Xavier Sabb was a late addition to the official visitor weekend coming down from New Jersey. Just hard to tell. We're talking about a guy from New Jersey. But they got Tayshaun Bauer years ago from Jersey, and so they have recruited nationally at times. So we'll see. But to answer your question, the one they have the best chance, I would say, is Easton Royal. Hey, Austin, good morning. Lowell, good morning. Hey, Brad, good morning. Yesterday you talked about how y'all picked the name Drew, or some names picked if y'all would have had a girl. Erica liked the most Southern name you could possibly imagine. I think she wanted Riley Reagan, Ryleigh. And I was like, no, that's not happening. I liked I liked way more traditional names. I liked the name Claire. That was my girl name. But we never settled on a girl name. Because when we went for the, what's it called? Angel Prince, is that what it's called? The place where you go and they do the 3D or 4D scan, whatever it is, 3D scan, and see we did that, and so that's where we found out it was going to be a boy, and so then we picked a boy name. Hey Phil, good morning. DJ, good morning. Brad, have you really not gotten an inspection sticker since March of 24? Really? It's peeling off my windshield. I've not gotten a new inspection sticker since March of 24. And so I said that on air yesterday, and then people started messaging, hey man, like the law doesn't go into effect until the end of June. I'm like, made myself a target for the next month. Hey Brandon. Hey Scone. I saw you're big on BPC 157. Are you on the Wolverine stack? I've been talking KLOW stack and feel great. Sorry. I am not on the Wolverine stack. I just take the BPC 157. Let's see. More, Matt. See you tomorrow. Walk-ons. Also, did anyone update the receiver that was in a walking boot? Maybe. So that was. Here's my roster. Trey Brown. That was Trey Brown from Old Dominion. Have not gotten an update since spring ended. So we'll keep an eye on that. The next for sure availability we have for Kiffin is SEC Media Days in July. My guess is we'll have some opportunity. Somewhere along the way, he'll do something. So maybe we can ask about that. The other one that we need to ask about is William Satterwhite. William Satterwhite is the offensive lineman from Tennessee, and is the backup center, and he wasn't there the last couple of practices of spring, and we never had an opportunity to follow up to see, what the issue was there. So we'll follow up there. Let's see. Jason, good morning. Ryan, good morning. Brad, do you think college football will ever just play 12 Power 4 games? I don't even watch cupcakes anymore. They're unwatchable. I do think we're going to get there. I do think we will get there where we play all Power 4 games, but it's when you have consolidation or contraction or whatever you want to call it, when you go to like a mega league. And I just don't know if when that's let's say if I think that's going to happen as far as a timeline of when, because you're going to have agreement. You have contracts currently in place with college football playoff, with TV networks. So we've obviously seen they can break those contracts and amend those contracts. And I do think we're going to get there eventually. But I just don't know when. Tiger Man 91. I'm not going to put your comment on screen because I've answered you many times. If you want to message me privately, I'm more than happy to talk to you privately. HD Williams, good morning, Matt and family. Ready for some football? Yes, sir. Adam, good morning, Matt. Who are you pulling for to win the NBA Finals? Have a wonderful day. I'm definitely not a fan of either the Knicks or the Spurs. I guess it's hard to say, man, because I'm certainly not a fan of either. But being that the Spurs are in the Pelicans division, I probably have more dislike for San Antonio. I also think Greg Popovich's years was surly and rude unnecessarily and really don't like him. I mean, I know he's having some health struggles now, so I don't mean that in any way to be on a personal level. I just mean I didn't like the way he carried himself professionally. But he won a lot. That's undeniable. I like the Knicks team. I like Mike Brown. And while they're a very popular franchise, they haven't won in more than half a century. So, I guess I'd like to see that story to see what it would be like, to see the Knicks win a championship, which hasn't happened in my lifetime. So that'd be cool. Here you go.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown. ParishBuilt.com.
Okay. Let's see. Eric, good morning. Again, I'm seeing Grizzly Greats again this year. If they ask me to and the date works, I mean, I always am more than happy to do that. So I love the event. I love being back on campus. And yeah, I don't know. I don't think they've asked yet. Is it August? Because they usually ask me to hold the date. Oh, I do have it. August 1st. Saturday, August 1st. Never mind. Yes, I am. It's on my calendar. So I guess yes, I am. Hey, Jim. Good morning. Thomas. Good morning. Pelicans. Come on, John. Look, man, I can't say I'm optimistic about the Pelicans ever. They're so poorly run and have been since they've been in New Orleans. But I'm hopeful. I guess that's what I can say. Is I don't expect them to get it right. There was a report yesterday from uh, mm, here it is. The Pelicans are one of 4 teams that have been linked to a potential Jaylen Brown trade, which would be incredible. He's a 5-time All-Star, obviously won a championship in Boston a couple of years ago, and really carried that team this year with Jason Tatum out. And so NBA insider Jake Fisher is reporting the Pelicans are one of the teams interested in trading for Jaylen Brown. Rockets, Hawks, and Blazers are the other 3. So, look, I mean, Trey Murphy is most likely would be part of a deal. I would be. It seems like the Pelicans are not interested in trading Fears or Queen. They want to build around the young guys. It makes sense as well with a new GM who drafted those players a year ago. But that means Zion, Herb, Trey, I mean, a lot of the guys that have been the cornerstones they built around. But look at what they built. They built a team that is a perennial bottom dweller. So, you do a deal for Jaylen Brown, that changes the dynamic of your roster, the outlook of your team, season, etc. So I'd be here for it. Hey, Deborah, good morning. Hawkeye Cam, good morning. Brody Trosclair and the Portal Musket. So we talked about this as we started the show today. I was told Brody Trosclair did visit LSU yesterday. So he's a lefty from Thibodaux, pitched at Northwestern State. He was a freshman of the year in the Southland. And he's visiting Tennessee, Arkansas, and Mississippi State as well. So what I was told is no hometown discount. Now, he did have the elbow surgery. He had the brace, not Tommy John. He had the brace. So March would be the target for him. Hopefully you can accelerate that a little bit. But yeah, that's one they certainly want. Eric, watch it for the first time ever via LinkedIn. Scone is far reaching and always present. Yeah, so the software I use is it's called StreamYard. And so StreamYard gives you the option to link as many different social media accounts as you want and stream live simultaneously to all those accounts. So I stream live on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn, but I could add Instagram, X, all that sort of stuff as well. But primarily YouTube, Facebook is where we live on the show. So, Jim, watched a lot of baseball last weekend. NCAA needs to spread the baseball regional to more days. It's too much hard to watch at once. I disagree with you, Jim. I mean, you have to it's no different than the NCAA men's basketball tournament playing all the games at once. Like you have to get it in that weekend. So you're not going to be able to watch all 9 innings of every game. So you're going to pick and choose what you want to watch. But it's first world problems, man. Michael Cook, good morning. Tigerman, email me. Matt at 1045espn.com. Matt at 1045espn.com. Any more? I think we're done. All right. Let's wrap it up, y'all. Appreciate y'all for hanging. Remember, as always, brought to you by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. All the subspecialists. If you need an orthopedist, you go to Brock. They're the best. brortho.com. And remember, Brock Rock and Wine is coming up at, let me get you the date. You can get your tickets at brortho.com. If you go to Foundation, you'll see on the drop down Brock Rock and Wine, which is August 1st, same day as Grizzly Greats. But anyway, it's a great event. It's in Tiger Stadium, food, wine, live music in the South Stadium Club at Tiger Stadium. Great event. Raising money for the Brock Foundation. So brortho.com. Paris Construction and Roofing. Hey, remember, if you haven't heard yet, the LDI, Louisiana Department of Insurance, has expanded its fortified roof program. So they've opened up a new lottery. So 3,000 additional Louisiana homeowners will get grants up to $10,000 to install a fortified roof. The link that takes you directly to the LDI portal is at the parish website. So there's a bar at the top of the parish website. You click that black bar, it'll take you directly to the LDI portal to enter the lottery. Unique Physique, Unique Aesthetics and Wellness, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com, and of course, Bocock Brothers Premium Cigars. All of our sponsors linked in the description on YouTube, tagged on Facebook. Let's see, more to Matt. Is true LSU out Laughlin on a social freeze? Is that supposed to be put Kiffin on a social freeze? No, it's not. As a matter of fact, Verge Osbury did an interview with Jacques Doucet, and they asked him about that. This was the answer.
Had nothing to do with that. Lane's lane. One thing I spoke about it earlier. I don't try to change who my coaches are. They are who they are. Those personalities they have, that's what makes those guys around here. And we have a great group. You have Lane, you have Jay, you have Will, you have Jay Clark, you have Kim Mulkey. They are who they are, and I want them to have that. I don't want them to be like, okay, I'm going to change who I am. No, be who you are. That's what makes them so successful.
So, Verge says point blank, had nothing to do with Lane being off social. I believe him. Lane's just a different kind of bird, man. Like, it's just, if you haven't figured that out by now, just obvious, man. He's just a different kind of cat. Hey, Rex, good morning. Singer, good morning. Have a freer day. I really feel bad for Ole Miss podcast guy. If they lose 2 games, he set himself up for a rough season. I wouldn't worry about an Ole Miss podcast guy. That's my advice. Hey, Greens. Matt, do you think Beth gets fired since the program is in shambles after losing star player? No. Figured. Thought NIL committee was supposed to prevent billionaires from writing big checks. In theory, yes. So, but remember, you can also circumvent that through revenue share. So if football has $15 million of revenue share to spend annually, and you want to spend $5 million on one premier player, and then on top of that, have NIL opportunities, well, now you have to, again, I'm just throwing out numbers, right? I don't know that that's what they're offering. You talk about Jalen Brewster. Remember, you could always fund your, like LSU has done with NIL LSU Max, right? Where you could fund that and take the money and then do legitimate NIL deals with the money in that Max program. So while you may not do $1 million deal, you could take $1 million and do $110,000 deals, right? Or find $100,000 deals for premier players and things like that. Matt, did you discuss the basketball roster? Is it complete? What positions are left? Not complete. They definitely need a point guard. Now, Yam Madar is the one. Yam Madar is the one that could be that, but he's the 25-year-old who there's some question about his eligibility. Now, my belief is that he should get a waiver because of his mandated military service in Israel that pushed his career. No different than, as we've talked about, Chris Weinke being a 28-year-old quarterback who won the Heisman Trophy in a national championship. So that's not anything new. He should get that waiver, but that's just one example. Dude, it's so funny. On the LSU website, Will Wade's photo is the old photo from Will Wade when he was the coach the first time. He's like so much younger. It's funny. Anyway. But yes, I would say they need a guard and they need depth at this point. All right. Yeah, this part, when do we find out if they're eligible? Is there a timeline? I mean, first, you would have to have the NCAA deem them ineligible before you would need to go fight for their eligibility. So you sign them, they're on your roster, and the NCAA would then have to fast track something to deem them ineligible, right? Andrew Raybear, good morning. So it's not an LSU timeline thing. Is the Moscona roll still a thing in Baton Rouge? It is. We had Ichiban last Friday, and we had a Moscona roll. When is Will coming on AFR? I need to follow up. Actually, so we'll be doing AFR in Lake Charles tomorrow, Thursday. And Heath Schroyer will be joining us on the show. And I'll ask about Will. I saw Will at the Our Lady of the Lake Big Bash event a few weeks back. And we talked about it. He said, give me a few more weeks. So he hasn't been doing any media yet, but he'll start making the rounds whenever he finishes his roster, right? Singer, final start tonight. I'll miss the next morning scone. I'll be sleep deprived tomorrow. All good. You can catch it on demand. So, by the way, if you are on demand on podcasts, thank you. So please subscribe on your favorite podcast app, as Overtime with Matt Moscona, featuring overtime videos and Morning Scone, is now on podcast per all of your requests. So please go subscribe to Overtime with Matt Moscona on your favorite podcast app. And if you're on YouTube, smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Y'all have a great day. Locked on LSU is live AFR3.